talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Oh, we're babbling on.
Good evening, Babblers. It's Hilton here. Happy season 2 of Babbling On. You're so sweet. Please enjoy part 2 of Michael Cuby and I's conversation about this year's awards season, which became so extensive we felt it best here at Babbling On Institutes to break it into 2 parts. Enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. Babbling. Okay, so actress. Do we need to say more? Demi Moore is amazing. She's not in year 5.
She's not. She's like on the cusp. I think she's incredible. I think she's great.
Yeah. I don't have Nicole Kidman in after seeing Baby Girl again. I was a little less gagged than I had been the first time. And I love Nicole Kidman. I think she's great. She already has an Oscar. And I had to make room for my passion picks of Cynthia, Demi, and it feels funny to say since I haven't seen the movie, but Marianne. What was your question?
Oh, I was going to say, did you swap out Nicole?
I swapped out Nicole,
Demi?
probably. I would say Demi and Marianne. Babbling on. I know a few listeners have reached out to complain about the 2-parter syndrome because it's like, oh, I wanted to hear the end, but like once you hit a certain point, like fuck off, like. If it's going to be a 4-hour episode, like, do you really want 4 hours all at once? Plus, it's like, I have to record all of these every week. I'm not getting paid or anything. I'm just, like, doing this out of the goodness of my heart. So.
But yeah, so
so Demi, I love.
I think Demi,
the narrative is there, too.
She has, like, one of the best narratives going into, because you really could not find a better synthesis of, like, story of like once beloved actress torn down by the industry, coming back with a splashy film. Like that's alone is a narrative, but then the fact that the film itself is like a literal reflection of that story, it's so meta on meta on meta.
Yeah.
Like it's
this really weird body horror movie that like you wouldn't expect it to be an awards player, but because she's so good in it, and Margaret Qualley also, we're gonna get to supporting actress, is so good in it. It's basically a co-lead, and the directing is really there, and the movie is, we've discussed at length, but is very good even with the problems that some may have with it. So I just think it's so worthy, and I had to put her in. My best actress lineup, again, I hear the irony of I haven't even seen Hard Truths, but just based on what I've heard that it's one of the great performances of the past many years, I decided to put her in as a pseudo passion pick. But all of these I feel really excited about. Mikey, Madison, Cynthia, Demi, Carla, Marianne.
Yeah. I think I can't, like I said, I would personally not, I think I still have Angelina in mind, but I don't want her I would love her to drop out in favor of Marianne.
Yeah. I like Angelina Jolie a lot. I think she's good in Maria. We've discussed this. But
she also already has an Oscar.
She already has an Oscar and a very deserved one at that.
Granted, Nicole already has 2. No, Nicole
she only has 1,
Nicole
I think, has 1, for the hours, which is again very deserved. Again, another topic to come for Babblers. Yes, so we don't worry about that.
But I guess we feel differently about Baby Girl. I kind of think that
I had my opinion swayed by the people who I saw it with the second time. The people one person who I was with, who is actually a future podcast guest we've just recorded with, didn't like it so much, and I think they may have influenced me. Because I liked it the first time. But I do think that I wish Baby Girl was weirder and more perverted than it is. It is weird, it is perverted, but like I wish it had gone farther.
Okay, I feel that.
You know,
I can see
and
that.
She's very good in it, obviously, and I love Nicole. But because she already has an Oscar, I was willing to bump her in favor of fresher faces.
Yes. Yeah. And I see that.
Yeah.
But I feel like for that reason, I think is why I think that she will get the nomination is that the Academy already knows her so much, and it feels like
and it's been a while since she was really in the running.
Well, because first of all, she's been running through TV for years.
She's done
she has done a lot of TV. Yeah. I'm like, girl, you are you are one of the last remaining movie stars.
She's a true movie star, and she's done like some bad TV, but she's also done some good ones. Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies season 1.
Canon. Okay, I actually one of the one's pushing 2 as well.
My mom loved 2. I watched both seasons with her in like one sitting. Well, not one single sitting, but like over the course of like one Christmas break. Like 3 or 4 years.
And your
ago.
mom loved it. I actually feel like I remember you talking about
and we watched it all together, and I remember she was seated for season 2, and like the whole time I kind of was being, which I now think was probably being annoying. I was like it's not as good.
I mean, everyone
and then she was living, and I was like,
I remember Little Gold Men. Like to this day, I like have qualms with Richard Lawson and Little Gold Men talking shit about season 2 so hard. Which, like, Richard Lawson, if you're out there, like, I'm obsessed with you. I love you. But I think season 1 was like a perfect season of television and is like one of the greatest things ever made. And then season 2 takes back that whole cast and premise and is still of a high caliber and adds Meryl Streep. And so it's like, it's just
great.
Fun.
Yeah,
of course, the Andrea Arnold scandal is such a shame. And I wish I had seen Andrea Arnold's cut.
Version. Yes.
Yeah. And so that sucks. And I'm sure we'll do a Big Little Lies deep dive at some point so we can get into it more there. But yeah,
Nicole. But like what I love is that Nicole is in the same way that she's willing to do TV. Granted, I want her to come back to movies, but in the same way that she's willing to do TV,
she's willing to do anything.
She's willing to do anything, and that's kind of why I think that people are going to get behind Baby Girl, because it's once again her like taking on this kind of
really
role
crazy.
that most like actresses at her caliber
wouldn't do, because she's jerking off a lot. Is like she's moaning. She's like
tooching her pussy, facing to the world.
It could be like
she's drinking milk.
If she she's drinking milk, which most people would never do
at the bar. Like, the real scandal of the story.
But you know, Helena Rain, I think is how you say her name, the director, who, by the way, love Bodies.
Love Bodies.
She was saying, I saw a TikTok in my watch right before you came here, my debut watch.
Thing?
Yeah, the milk thing, I guess, really happened to her. Yes. With like a hot, famous Belgian actor. Who could that be?
But like a young one, too. She said is significantly younger than her, which is really funny, because for some reason, I didn't even think what her personal connection to the story was. Like, that never even flashed through my mind. Like, I wonder if she's been
a version of this must have happened to her.
Her saying that is like literally her being like, she's been in a
if
dom
the milk thing
sub
happened,
kind of thing. Like
something else happened too.
Like literally, I was kind of joking, but I was like, that kind of is like one of the more edgy things. Because it's like, in the context of the film, he sends her a glass of milk.
No, that's one of the most edgy things.
In public, like while she is like surrounded by coworkers and colleagues at a work drinks thing, and she just like, and like her colleagues see her get this milk and are like, "You're not going to drink that," and then she just picks it up and drinks it.
I know.
And it's like, but it's like that whole thing. It's like, I was kind of gagged to find out that because again, like it makes sense. Like, why else would you kind of come? But it never, for whatever reason, watching it, I never was like, oh, like I wonder if you have a connection to dom sub play, like age, kind of like, and then she said like fully like the milk thing, which is kind of not the edgiest thing, but does feel like maybe like the craziest thing, because it's like the idea, and maybe it's just because I'm a gay man, but the idea of like dom sub play is like,
it's been so there, done normal.
That. It's not like that's not the craziest thing.
Is that way these days,
but like drinking raw milk at the bar, like that was like, oh, you're really into you said I'm gonna be daddy's little girl.
No, that was, there were moments that felt transgressive in a way that was exciting. Plenty of moments. I actually liked Baby Girl. I was swayed by my co-watcher.
It's fine if you don't like it. Like I love it. I really did like it. I also just love to hear it. Like it's like,
I liked it less the second time for sure, and it lost a lot of its fangs for me. Harris was great. Yeah.
He is like,
but I think the script wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be ultimately.
That's fair. Yeah. I see that.
But like, Harris was great. He was so hot.
And just so what I love about it is that it's like he is playing a dom.
He's not a perfect dom though. They're like they're laughing through it and figuring out how it works.
And he's so like good at playing someone being like, I can step into this role, but I'm still
a human
trying to fit on shoes that are not necessarily mine.
No, totally. That's what really made the movie, because people in the movie theater with that movie, I saw it again on Christmas Day, were laughing a lot to the point where I was like, you guys are embarrassing for laughing so much, because you're laughing because you're embarrassed that people are talking about and doing sex acts on screen, is what it felt like. They were laughing at it, not with it.
Okay.
And what I liked a lot about the movie was it sort of took the premise of him being the dom, her being the sub, and had the characters themselves like laugh at themselves and be like figuring out how this works.
That's what also speaking, like, she also talked about one of the things that she did on set whenever they were filming one of like the sex scenes effectively, or like, you know, one of like the more intimate ones, is that she would have them fool around with each other, and she would basically be like make each other laugh to like relax them, because she wanted that exact effect where she kind of wanted the sex scenes to feel playful, because the whole thing is that they are, which again, then now having the context that she went through this herself, it probably was coming from like a thing with her where it was like she wanted it to be, we're both figuring this out and it is kind of weird, and it's like an awkward laughter. Though I will say, as I've also seen it twice, the first time I saw it was in the A24 offices, hilariously, because some of the movie is filmed there. Like,
that's
when
where I watched Queer. Oh yeah, that's where
it's literally outside of the. It's funny because I saw Baby Girl in the A24 offices, and I saw The Room Next Door at Alice Tooley, and they also have that scene in The Room Next Door where they're literally at Alice Tooley, and it was like, we were like, oh my god, like we're here. But it was like seeing that was my first time in the A24 offices, was when I saw Baby Girl. My first time being there was to see Queer, but I had been to their old offices, and both offices were cool. That's the whole point of But I like remember, because it was screenings felt different, like, because that when I was there, it was like maybe it's a small screening room. It was like maybe like I don't know, like
it was like eight
of us. Yeah. And it did feel more, we were all like tuned in, but granted it probably was a lot more critics, you know, like whatever. And then when I saw it on Christmas Day, also apparently we have just realized that we were at
at BAM.
Both at BAM in back-to-back screenings. I saw the 12:30, you saw 3:15. Yeah, I guess
you would be gone by the time I got there.
And it was a wide laugh, but granted, I was laughing a lot more.
Do you feel like people were laughing at or with it? Is that
I didn't get the laughing at it though. But I guess maybe it was also because I was laughing, but I wasn't laughing at it. But I was like, it felt, and again, like I said, kind of knowing where it went, I was watching it in a different lens.
Yeah.
But these people who were seeing it presumably for their first time because it had just come out, I think. It was, you know, going
I just felt
through.
Like my crowd was laughing at moments that weren't meant to be laughed at necessarily, and not laughing at moments that were. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, who knows?
I feel like I was laughing kind of like at the same time, so I wasn't hyper thinking. But I do remember kind of being like, I find it so much funnier this time than I did the first time.
It was funnier, definitely, watching it with a large audience.
Yes, yeah. So it was.
Anyway,
but
if she gets in, I think, which she probably will.
Yeah, I don't think she's not winning, but
I think she could win. Is what I was going to say. Is like I think there's an argument that like the narrative of Nicole Kidman should have a second Oscar, because I mean, even you just said like you thought she had two, and I know for a fact she only has one.
No, I know she has. I was confusing her with Meryl.
Oh, sure. Who has three?
Because I know she has and that has multiple. But I don't really. I don't think she's. I kind of do think that she is gonna get the nomination, but I don't really see.
She will probably, if I'm predictive, and I would say that bumps. Probably Demi, sadly. Or Marianne.
But I am kind of curious about who would be the non-Mikey winner, because
that is a good question.
I don't like Mikey seems to be the one that has like there's a lot of people vying for spots in that final five. I
sort of could see a world where there's an upset where Cynthia wins. I do think it's possible. Maybe. And I would be gagged to the moon. Like I said, Wicked is like the event of the year for me, because and again, we're gonna have a Wicked round table, but I didn't know the musical growing up. I just am getting into it for the first time with the movie, basically, and learning the music and just like having that sort of thing that most 12-year-olds go through where you become obsessed with Wicked, and I'm having it now, and it's like it's an extreme thing for me. It's all I can think.
I will say it's very similar though. I did see it when I was a kid.
Okay,
I saw it not on Broadway. It was during like when it was touring.
The tour. I did see it on tour as well.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, we were in the nosebleeds. I couldn't really hear what they were saying, and I kind of just missed me.
It wasn't even. I don't even know that it was that I couldn't hear, but I was not I would go see a musical. but I was not really outside of like a High School Musical. I was not a kid that was going to go back and listen to like a musical soundtrack.
Oh, same.
And so when I saw Wicked, I feel like I remember enjoying it, but it was kind of like I saw it.
Okay,
I saw, I conquered, whatever. Did not really do anything with it until I went to go see it the movie the first time, and I saw the movie the first time I think 2 weeks before it came out, and then I swear that I spent those following 2 weeks listening to the original soundtrack because that was the only soundtrack that I could listen to
because the movie soundtrack was
not out. And it's hilarious. In my not Spotify Wrapped, I don't have Spotify, I'm an Apple Music girl, but
I'm thinking of making the switch actually because I kind of need a fresh slate on my liked songs.
Yes, I mean the sound quality in Apple Music is better.
Okay,
but
what about my playlists? Is there a way to transport?
I assume that there has to be.
I feel like there is.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not super tech savvy in that way.
Okay, right.
But so I had the same, or am having the same thing. Actually, AJ, who I went to go see Baby Girl with, came back to my apartment after, and I was like making my salad for Christmas dinner to bring to the dinner we're going to.
The aforementioned famous salad.
I put we got to Baby Girl a little late. I had already seen it.
Oh, like you missed the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he hadn't seen it yet. So I had the screener. So then when we got back from the theater, I was like, I'll put it in so you can watch like the first 15 minutes. Because for some reason I'm so used to going to AMC that I think
you missed 15 minutes.
Well, because that's the thing is I'm so used to going to
AMC. Starts on the clock.
Bam,
on the
they
dot.
have like I think she said that there's like 5 minutes of previews, and AMC is like
25.
23. Yeah. And so I am AMC A-list loyalist. So I don't even really. I only went to BAM because we were on a tight schedule, and so I was like, I need to stay in Brooklyn. Yeah. I know AMC is in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Let's just, and I can walk to
BAM was a scheduling thing for us as well, because I do find sometimes the seats in BAM to be uncomfortable and the temperature to be wrong. Even though I love BAM.
I love BAM. I just don't go more because it's just like I'm already paying for AMC. Like,
see, that's why I'm not an AMC A-lister, because I want the flexibility of just going wherever I want. Because a lot of times I'll go to Alamo or Regal Essex.
Yes,
BAM,
I do love Alamo, but I end up I go to Alamo for a lot of press screenings. Actually, they they
had that great Heretic one that I couldn't make because
with the blueberry pie.
The blueberry pie. They were giving out blueberry pie.
They gave out blueberry pie. Well, so it was like the screening was like a multi-sensory screening, and it was like
I'm pissed. I missed. I should have just gone to that. That she was not that good.
When he first starts talking about the blueberry pie, they light these blueberry pie candles, and so the entire theater smells like it. And then it's going on, and then all of a sudden they just bring out a slice of blueberry pie that was delicious. And then they gave us the blueberry pie candle at the end.
So the bells and whistles indicate the lack of strength of the film.
Yeah, the film is bad.
Yeah,
that's what I'm. No, did you see it?
No,
it's
I
not.
have the link.
And listen, love Hugh Grant, great performance, but it's a boring movie. It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't sound scary enough or interesting enough.
Pontificating.
I mean, I do feel like there's been a little bit of Hugh Grant conversation around awards. I think he got a Golden Globe nom, but it's like, are you serious?
But no, I saw that and I was like, be serious. Yeah. He should have got an Oscar nomination for Paddington 2. If we really want to talk,
still haven't seen. I'm embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed.
For the listeners, my jaw just dropped to the floor.
This is an audio medium.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Necessary to watch Paddington 2 or no?
Not necessary, but amazing film as well. So I just say go watch it.
I mean, I love kids movies, so I need to.
And actually, Paddington 3 is coming out in weeks.
Isn't that like Rami Malek? Isn't that?
Is he?
I don't know. Maybe I just completely made that up.
Wait. Maybe, I guess. I really hate that Bohemian Rhapsody happened because I used to be a Rami Malek stan.
I mean,
Mr. Robot.
I
wanted to
Night at the Museum?
I
haven't seen Mr. Robot. I guess I have some blind spots.
Actually, not even past tense. I still do want to, but
he's hot. Night at the Museum. There's the Pharaoh.
Yes.
Like,
Famous
come on.
The Pharaoh.
Well, come on now.
Rami the Pharaoh Malek.
Rami the Pharaoh Malek.
Yes, he like. But yeah, Hugh Grant in Paddington 2. When you watch it, you will see it is an incredible.
I mean, there's a
performance.
few different performances I could give him. I think he should have
many
a supporting actor nom for Love Actually.
My Best Friend's Wedding.
My Best Friend's Wedding. I haven't seen Maurice, but I bet he's amazing in that.
Yes.
He's in a bunch of stuff.
But yeah, no, I did not. I was not a fan of Heretic. Sorry, A24.
I love you, A24.
But yeah, don't stop inviting me to stuff. But
No, please.
I'm sorry.
Like, you're my main invite her at this point. So
yes, we can try again on the horror front. That didn't really work for me. But Nicole is probably in for actress. We've covered actor, actress. Let's go to supporting actress. Okay, let's go to supporting
which is a really exciting. Ariana Grande, I think, is the front runner.
Yes,
as Glinda.
Yes,
in Wicked. Which I happened to know she was a comedy genius beforehand and expected her to be good, and then the reviews and the reception only reflected what I knew to be true. And but a lot of people I think were shocked. I bring that up because I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Ariana Grande, she can't act," and it's like, yes, she can.
I was never one of the people who said that she could not act, but I was also not like assured that she was going to be great. I really had no. I mean, I obviously knew that she came from an acting background, so it's like one of those things where it's like, I mean, very similar just to Selena, came from Wizards of Waverly Place.
I know. Isn't it crazy that we really have 3 Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, or whatever the fuck.
Who else
network.
are we counting?
Well, because doesn't Miley have a song that's up for consideration? Yeah,
but it's not. It didn't make the short. It didn't make the short list.
Okay.
So no longer.
Which is a shame because actually Miley to me could definitely win an acting Oscar.
One day. I see that in her future.
But Ariana's the first. I don't think Selena could ever win.
She's not.
I don't think she's good enough.
She doesn't really have. Yeah. And I love Selenators. Do not.
Selenators finally won this year.
But yeah, I think that.
I mean, I love Selena Gomez's music. Like A Year Without Rain.
A Year Without Rain is my girl invented trance. Like
invented
that
what?
was like the trance. Like it's like an EDM song.
You said trance.
Oh, not trance. Trance, as in like the subgenre.
No, A Year Without Rain is the inventor of trance.
Like truly, Selena Gomez and The Scene. Like
Selena Gomez and The Scene. No, that. Bang, bang, bang.
Girl, like the boss.
There it was. And then Love.
Love You Like a Love Song.
Yeah.
Bop. Like, no.
Can't keep my hands to myself. No, like, she has hits.
It's selfish. Like,
Selenators have won victories in the past, but this year was their biggest win yet.
I
don't know birthday.
Oh my god, I love.
But Katy Perry's birthday.
It's my birthday. No. Honestly, Selena kind of ate up Katy Perry's, no shade.
Damn,
but I love Selena, but I just. Yeah, I genuinely, and I remember
her and Wizards of Waverly Place though is not good acting. I mean, deadpan comedy tease like Aubrey Plaza's tease maybe, but Aubrey could have done that way better.
I finally watched My Old Ass last night.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Is that Aubrey's?
That's the one where she plays like the. I don't know if it's her vehicle, and it's like she like plays the older version, like this girl who's like 17, 18, goes on a shroom trip on her birthday, and Aubrey Plaza appears to her like as like a spirit, basically,
as her older self,
as her 39-year-old self.
And it's good.
It's good. I feel like
I've heard that it's good.
It's really. I kind of like from like that premise. I kind of was like, what all can you do with it? Yeah. But the movie is actually good. It's really funny. Would I crack your top 25, which we're gonna unveil at the end of this to keep the people guessing? Maybe.
I feel like Richard Lawson might have put it in his top
I think it was really high on Richard Lawson's. I did enjoy it though. It was like really funny. It's quick. It's like good performances, and like again, like they just it did a lot more with that premise than I thought it could have. Yeah. And Aubrey Plaza is great, but but yeah, I was like, I wonder if Wizards of Waverly Place would be one of those shows that I would go back to and be like, kind of like I saw the TV Glow when Justice Smith goes back to rewatch it and he's like, this show was kind of bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I used to love Wizards of Waverly Place.
Well,
like
that's
I
the
wonder
thing. So
if
did
I
I. But then
rewatch-
I happened to see like a 2-minute long clip on Twitter for some reason, and I was like,
You're like, how did I watch
are
that?
you kidding me? Like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, this is so bad. It was shocking. And we were like, I've seen clips of like Hannah Montana as an adult and been like, yeah, that's Hannah Montana.
Right,
but like, I
yes.
get it in a way where I saw
Which
this.
I saw a clip of High School Musical 2 the other day and I was like,
Oh no,
still hits.
High School Musical.
Still
I rewatched 1 and 2. And 3 actually last Christmas, and they are very good. I was sobbing. No, Wizards of Waverly Place is like horrible. It is bad.
Is it like the acting or just like enjoy
It's
like
the
every
acting.
like
I mean, the
every
writing
aspect?
is so bad that I don't know how you act that well. But and to be fair, like Harry Potter is like my number one thing ever, and so Wizards of Waverly Place is designed to work for me, and I never loved it, but I at least could like watch it and be like, this is a Disney Channel show.
Right. About witches.
About
and
witches,
wizards.
and like this is a show that exists in the world, and I'm not like thinking about how bad it is all the time. And then I saw it again as an adult, and I was like, oh, this is like, but also as a kid, I was like, but this isn't good. And then as an adult, I watched it, and I was like, this is like atrocious vomit. It's horrible. It's one of the worst things ever made.
Oh my god, maybe I kind of have to go back to it.
You should just check it out because it's pretty shocking.
That's because I remember I was planning because they had a reboot come out this year.
Oh yeah.
And
fuck.
she's like, I think she makes a cameo or something, but like I feel like there was.
Oh, she's not a lead in it?
No. It's about the brother.
Oh,
and
well,
his,
he is
like,
sexy as fuck.
He is really hot, yeah.
I need him.
And I feel like, but there was conversation about it of like people being like, well, will it live up? So like now it's crazy to be like, well, the original one was dirt. So like,
I was so
I don't know, but I really
shocked.
cannot speak as to like, because I have not seen it since I was a child. So I'm like, maybe I waited
it's not
to.
good.
Like,
It's not
I don't
good.
know.
But anyway, Ariana Grande,
She's
former
taking it.
Nickelodeon star, is taking it. I mean, Zoe Saldana gives her
She's on her heels.
some competition
and both
for Amelia Perez.
both are co-leads in musicals.
Both are, yeah. I mean,
Like-
well, so that, yeah, we should just acknowledge this age-old debate of like category fraud, and
Yes.
Ariana running supporting is a prime example of
Yes,
that.
particularly when famously Idina and Kristen Chenoweth ran both lead,
Yeah.
and it was a whole to do.
And Idina won.
One, yes, the Cynthia in the scenario
Yeah.
one, which granted, she is the lead. Like the story
I agree.
is about.
I do think, like, for some reason, the Ariana supporting thing doesn't piss me off as much as I thought it would, because I'm
Yeah.
like, she isn't as lead as Elphaba.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, like, the story is about. It's like she is a co-lead in terms of like maybe screen time,
Right.
But like in terms, it depends on how you.
But in
want to
terms of
talk
story-
about lead, like the story is about Elphaba, hands down. You
There's
cannot.
worse
She is the
fraud.
Wicked of the title, like.
Like a real fraud, to me, one of the most glaring frauds, and I'm not really so angry because Viola Davis needs an Oscar,
Fences.
but her in Fences running,
Girl, yes.
supporting, like, are you fucking kidding?
Granted, but yes, but we love that she got her
No,
Oscar.
I'm so glad.
She ate.
I'm so
and,
glad.
Like, but yes, it's like that's not a support.
Like, that was crazy.
Like,
But yeah, for some reason the Ariana thing doesn't piss me off as much. And having seen Wicked 3 times, like, there are plenty of scenes that just feature Cynthia and don't
Right.
feature Ariana.
and there are very few that just,
Yeah.
or none really that kind, or
Only
at the very
end of
least,
popular.
yeah, that was like only the ones that do are only like. They're still somehow
Talking
connected
about
to like
Elphaba.
Elphaba,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
She's
yeah.
like Ariana does not really have or Glinda does not really have an arc that is not
Related to
about
Elphaba.
or related to Elphaba.
Which, by the way, I'm listening to the Wicked audiobook, which is crazy. Anyway, but there's...
But yeah,
like,
so I think that those
Glinda
are the
and
two. Ariana and Zoe are
Zoe
kind of like
is definitely...
the two.
For a while, Zoe was the front runner.
She was.
And I think Ariana, when Wicked came out, and just the phenomenon that Wicked has eclipsed Zoe. I would say, so my other three that I have on officially are Danielle Deadweiler for Piano Lesson, which
Lesson, yes.
I haven't seen,
Have
but
that too.
I have heard she's very good in and is basically the lead in. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I have like very
She also is
strong
overdue.
Right. Well, because she was the lead in Till,
Yeah.
playing Emmett Till's mother,
And was
it is
famously snubbed.
devastating performance, one of the best performances of like the past like 5 to 10 years, and was snubbed. And it's that for me, that and like Ruth Negga Passing, like two of like the most infamous snubs for me.
Was
like,
Ruth Negga not nominated? Oh, I thought she was.
Nope.
Oh, that's fucked up. Are you sure?
Like it's
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
that's fucked up.
pretty insane.
Fuck.
And so so I think I haven't, again, I feel like the same way about you in terms of Marianne. Like I haven't, I'm kind of
I
a
thought Ruth Negga was nominated.
snob in terms of like seeing stuff in theaters, which is partially the reason why I haven't seen Piano Lesson, because I'm trying to see if I can see it in the theater before I just settle with watching it at home.
This is Denzel Washington's son, not John David, but his other son.
John David is in it.
Directorial debut. Yeah.
John David is in the film, but Malcolm Washington is the director. And apparently it's speaking of fences, it's the latest in Denzel's.
Oh, it's an
Denzel's
adaptation.
Denzel is producing
Tennessee
all
Williams.
of not Tennessee.
Oh, no,
Williams,
who is it? What's his name?
oh my god.
August Wilson.
August Wilson.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
He's doing the cycle, which is all these different films or all these different plays that are set in Pittsburgh in like one of each decade. That August Wilson wrote a cycle of 10 plays, and Denzel has committed himself to adapting all of them. He has done Fences, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom,
which I actually also really enjoyed.
Ma Rainey, I really did like it. Yes,
I would have given Viola the Oscar that year.
I mean, gag. Remember when fucking
wasn't that Frances McDormand? Nomadland?
Yes, no, but what was when what's his name was supposed to win Best Actor, and remember they moved Best Actor to the end.
Oh, when Chadwick lost to Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, and that was the guy. They moved it all the way to the end because it was supposed to be this big to do because he had just died.
Bummer.
And then it was Anthony who wasn't even there.
It was a bummer on so many levels.
Crazy.
What also sucks is like Anthony was really good in The Father.
He was. Olivia Colman also incredible.
Yeah,
like,
that's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie.
Like, and the editing.
And when one of the movies that kind of started as a play, but really did transfer into being a film.
I mean, that movie is so smartly written and edited. Like when you realize what's happening, because it's like his dementia. That movie is amazing. Great. But I hear The Sun is Hell, which is like technically a sequel.
Yes,
didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
But yeah, that was a bummer.
But yeah, so this is the third. The Piano Lesson is the third one in that kind of thing.
Do you have her in your supporting?
I do have her in my supporting.
And you have Zoe and Ariana as well.
Zoe and Ariana and Isabella Rossellini,
who
is the opposite issue of
I have to
Zoe and Ariana. She is barely in the film.
Is just I think the reason that I'm not so
you're
hot on Conclave, but it's because I had gone into Conclave hearing this, that it was like Isabella Rossellini's barely in it. She just has her one big scene, but it's enough to give her the Oscar nom. And so my main reason to want to see Conclave is for Isabella Rossellini.
She's
and
mother.
So I go in, she's mother, and I'm like, I can't wait for her big scene. Like, I've heard about this. And so I'm watching the movie. There's a scene that comes along that she has one line in that I'm like, oh, like, what a funny little line she had. I can't wait for her big scene. Then the movie ends. I'm like, oh, that was her big scene? Like, what are you fucking talking about? That wasn't a scene of hers. She had one line at the end of the scene. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's really cool.
She has a line.
It's actually insane that the amount of like momentum, or not momentum, that she has kind of gotten in this
really
season.
Crazy. She says like 20 words in that movie.
It is like granted, it is like it's a moment, like
it's a
without
moment,
a doubt, because she is like literally one of the movie is very. It's a bunch of men.
Yeah.
So she kind of does stand out by being like the only woman.
And the story pivots somewhat,
right,
she says.
Exactly. But
and she is in other parts of the movie kind of watching
in the background,
and listening.
right.
But to me, like, I love Isabella Rossellini. I loved her line in it. But the movie fell apart because I was waiting for her scene and it never came. Which, again, it's like you should go in blind whenever you can. But I was pissed about that.
Yeah.
And that kind of ruined the movie for me. As I was like waiting for her scene and she doesn't have a scene.
Okay, so like at least I guess when I saw it, I didn't really necessarily know. I knew roughly what the movie was about, but I didn't really have any expectations in terms of like acting. So I could appreciate it in different things. But I was like, yeah, I would put other people in over her. I would put Anjanae Ellis Taylor and Nickel Boys over her.
I thought she was so good in what's it called? The one that
Exhibiting Forgiveness.
Ava DuVernay directed last year.
Origin.
Yeah,
yes,
that she's really good in
She was
Origin.
incredible in Origin.
Yeah.
I would put Lily Rose Depp over Isabella Rossellini.
In supporting.
Okay,
cool.
yes. Honestly, and takes a lot for me to say because I don't like her, and she recently won an Oscar, and I spent that entire season campaigning against her because I did not think she deserved it. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh.
But Jamie Lee Curtis in The Last Showgirl.
You're kidding. Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
The best performance of the film.
You're kidding me.
I honestly, gag. Like, she's so good in that movie. And, it's supposed to be Pamela Anderson's film, obviously.
Yeah.
But
is she good in it, Pamela?
Pamela is good.
She got a Golden Globe nom, which was kind of controversial.
She is good.
Because I've heard the movie is bad.
I don't like the movie.
Yeah.
It's not Gia Coppola Retire Girl. It's not that deep.
She related to Frances Ford and Sophia. Okay. Yeah. She's Sophia's sister?
No, I think they're cousins. Yeah. But she I did not gag over the movie. Pamela is good, but I don't think it doesn't give you the same wow that you get from Demi in The Substance, where you're oh, you came back and you ate.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, Pamela never really had an acting career like Demi, but yeah, it's I think her narrative is what propelled her to the Golden Globe.
But Jamie Lee Curtis in that film, and truly,
she should have her Oscar for Freaky Friday. That's what she should
have. Freaky Friday 2 coming out next year.
You're kidding.
Yes.
With Lindsay?
With Lindsay.
Oh,
with Lindsay
I
and Jamie.
will poop out of my mouth right now with joy.
Yes.
That is heaven.
I will be seated. I must say. But then, rounding out the 5, I have Felicity Jones from Brutalist.
Yeah. She's amazing. Yes. She has a really great scene almost at the end of the movie.
Yes. That responds to the scene that we were alluding to earlier. Yes.
Exactly. Which, no spoilers, but okay, so rounding out my 5 with Ariana, Zoe, Danielle, I included Margaret Qualley from Substance, who I think is unreal in Substance. I think she's funny and hot, and her boobs are prosthetics, just in case anyone's wondering. And then I have Monica Barbaro from Complete Unknown.
Oh my god!
Because I'm a Joan Baez stan.
This did come full circle. You did mention. I hadn't forgotten about that.
I think she's so good in it.
I think she could slide in. I mean, honestly, I think that they both. I don't see Margaret getting in if Demi doesn't get in. I think the only people who are voting... And I think it would be weird if she did. Right. I think the only people that are voting for Margaret are also voting for Demi.
Yeah.
She's very much giving coattail.
I agree.
So that could be a thing.
It is giving coattail.
but yeah, like I said, I'm still not even totally sure that Demi is making it in. So I think Margaret is great.
It could go either way.
But I feel... But supporting actress feels like kind of one of the thinner races in terms that there doesn't really seem... Because even Felicity feels like she could fall off.
That there's not worthy nominees, but in the sense it's more open. Yeah.
Exactly,
which I wish all categories felt that way, because that's more exciting.
It is
when
more
you
exciting.
don't know who's gonna make it, and you and I, we pay close attention to this stuff, and so by the time the Oscars come around, typically I feel like we kind of know who will be winning and nominated for the most part.
Right. There are always still
always a couple surprises.
Yeah.
But I like it when it's surprising. It's way more fun.
I always I love someone slipping. As long as they're not slipping in for someone that I was like hoping for, like
right.
then I'm gonna get pissed.
Right.
But like when what's her name got in over Danielle Deadweiler. That was when
Ana de Armas.
Well,
was it?
It could have been Ana, but it was the other. No, I'm a blonde. I'm a blonde apologist.
Blonde, but
I'm a blonde
was that
apologist.
the same year? Is that how we're talking about?
But it was but it was the other. It was the other girl who
else was in
that crazy campaign.
Oh, Andrea Riseborough.
Yes. She was on. She got in over Danielle Deadweiler.
Bullshit. I watched that movie. It's like not.
No, it's not that.
It is
like,
not
girl.
that. It is not that.
This is crazy.
No,
Ana de Armas was a surprise that I loved.
I loved it too. I was
like,
excited because the whole award season, I was like, or before the award season, before the movie came out, I was like, this looks so fun. And she was really good in it.
And it was you could tell how grueling that was.
Totally.
And she was like,
and it's easy to tell because it's like that movie was
is like
trauma,
right? But I lived.
Yeah, and she was so good.
I am a blonde apologist.
I actually got to interview her like the morning of her, because Hollywood Reporter does this thing where they like interview people on the 20 minutes after you get the nomination, and she was just so cool. Anyway, my honorable mentions in supporting actress are Felicity Jones, who will probably get in over some of the people I've chosen. And then I have Lady Gaga and Selena Gomez because she's not gonna get it. Everyone hates Joker Part 2, but she's really good in it, and I can't deny my mother. Like, there was no way I wouldn't say her.
She is the best part of the movie, like, without a doubt.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't see Joker getting in anywhere. So I'm like, I'm trying to forget about it. I'm just seated for LG8.
It's so disappointing. Like, it's just so sad. What are you seated for?
LG7.
Oh, LG7.
February.
Which is coming
very soon.
Okay, but I'm upset because Die with a Smile is apparently on the track list. Like, please.
Like, it wasn't supposed... And the thing is, like, and I like Dying with a Smile a lot. Dying with a Smile. I like dying. I like Die with a Smile. Thank you.
I'm happy to see her getting a Song of the Year nom, or Record of the Year.
Yes.
One of the two she got for that.
But maybe was it both? I don't know.
It might have been both.
She definitely got one. But
I don't love that song.
I just don't want to... My thing is more that, like, I want to think that the album is going to be cohesive, and I just want the album to be more disease.
Basically what it sounds like...
If Die with a Smile fits in with it, then I'm like, I like it as a one-off, but, like, that's not what I want.
I liked it. I was happy for her to have it as, like, a weird random single on its own, but I don't want it on the album. And I've heard the album... I forget where I heard this. I don't know why I would have heard anything about it, but somewhere on Twitter or something, I'm in this Gaga group chat, which honestly I should get you into. It's called House of whatever the fiance's last name is now. It used to be House. Yeah, House of Polanski. But I've heard it's all over the place genre-wise. Each song is like different.
So is it giving like art pop?
Maybe. I mean, for me, art pop is kind of like a 3-act thing where there's like one genre. But anyway,
well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I will be seated regardless. You know?
Okay, supporting actor.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say my 5, and then we can unpack it and do honorable mentions. Clarence Macklin is who I would want to win.
Okay. Because
I think that is just such a feat to play yourself after being out of prison, going back into that and like helping write the thing and the process. And I think he's great in it. And I just think the narrative is there, and it's like such a feat of filmmaking that worked. Then I have Yura Borisov from Anora. I have, actually, I'm going to make a switch right here. I'm going to do Austin Butler for Dune Part 2, which I had in. Jonathan Bailey for Wicked, which I had in. But instead of Mark Idleshine...
This is just your dreams.
These are my dreams. Okay. These are my dreams.
Okay.
This is the category that most deviates from what will actually happen. Okay. But I decided to swap out Mark at the last minute for Josh O'Connor in Challengers.
Okay.
And that's going to be my 5.
Okay. So I have... Well, I will first give the 4 that I think are definitely getting in.
Yeah.
Kieran Culkin for Real Pain.
Yeah, I didn't nominate him.
Seems like a front runner. I would not be upset with. He's incredible in it.
Yeah.
If you like Succession and you like Roman Roy, you will like Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain. It's basically the same character. Though, honestly, like, he gives I guess because it's the length of a film, he gives you kind of the same arc that you get of Roman Roy
In
over
all
like
of
the
Succession.
entire 4
Okay.
seasons of Succession.
So
Because
it's probably amazing then.
Oh, it's incredible.
I need to watch it.
He really is great. He is that film, though. Same kind of thing. He's a co-lead.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Like, the film is told through Jesse Eisenberg's like perspective.
And by the way, let me say, like, I am a Jesse Eisenhower. Like, I like him a lot. I think he was so good in Social Network.
I did not like his. Did you see the first movie he directed, the one with Julianne Moore?
No, but I heard it's bad.
It's not good. And that's hard because I love it's Julianne Moore and what's that boy? Is it Finn Wolfhard? Yeah.
Oh, Finn Wolfhard.
The guy from Stranger Things.
But this I heard is a huge step up, and I heard is
so
and
much
he
better.
directs it and is in it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Is he in the one with Julianne Moore?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's not in that one.
Okay.
But he's in this one. It's
all
so much better. I think it's like a front runner for original screenplay. I think it's
wow, I really need to see this. Okay, if it's
it's
an
really,
original screenplay frontrunner,
it's funny. Also, Hottie from White Lotus. What's his name?
Oh,
the guy who's like Aubrey Plaza's boyfriend.
Ethan Sharp.
Ethan Sharp.
Yeah.
He plays like the tour guide, and like when they go to Poland, like they're taking this like tour. But he plays like he's like kind of like dorky because he's like.
He's
like,
so fucking hot. Like, one of the hottest of the past 3 years in television.
We love him. He's great. But yeah, I love A Real Pain. It's really good. And Kieran Culkin is without a doubt the star, though he is also quite literally the star. So it's category fraud. But I would also say that I think Clarence Macklin, who I do have in my like getting nominated, I think probably would also be my choice for winning. Incredible performance.
That would be
it also feels like a real supporting performance.
Yeah, he's a supporting actor. I have him as my choice to win.
Love him. Obviously, I already talked about earlier Denzel Washington. Incredible performance.
I don't have him here. I just can't support Gladiator.
Girl, he's getting in whether you like it or not.
No, he's in.
And then I have Guy Pearce in The Brutalist.
Who I think is great. I don't know. I don't have him written down.
Yes. I think all 4 of those are definitely getting in. The 5th one that I have is Maybe, which I do not really support, but it's looking like it's happening, is Edward Norton and A Complete Unknown. I'm not
I don't want that, even though I liked him in it and I thought he was super
really
sweet.
Good,
yeah.
But yeah,
but there's other people who, like, I have a few others even in honorable mention. I mentioned Josh O'Connor, who I swapped in for Mark Idleshine, but I would love Bill Skarsgård for Nosferatu.
He's great. My benches, like, best supporting actor, like, honorable mentions. I also have Josh O'Connor challengers that he's like at the top of mine.
I'm surprised you don't have him in your 5, although I guess you're going more for predictive.
Yeah, more predictive. I'm more for predictive. I have in that 5th spot either Edward Norton as a bad choice or Yura Borisov as the good.
I could see
he's rising. Like I said, I think he's a legitimate contender to take the 5th spot.
He got indie spirit.
Yeah. But I'm kind of like, will he make it all the way? I don't know. I mean, Mark Edelstein too. They're both great, but I think Yura has more. Mark Edelstein kind of ends up. He doesn't have the arc in the same way. Right. Like he's kind of like the same bratty kid the whole time.
Plus, he disappears. Like Yura ends up being in.
Yura doesn't show up until the second half, but once he's there,
that's true. I guess they're both like not in
kind
parts.
Of swaps. Yeah. But like
Yura's interesting because at first you don't think he's gonna be a big character.
He feels like
he just seems like a throwaway,
right? And he kind of just like he has this
and he's
also
so hot. I mean, so is Mark to me. But.
Like I feel like the thing with Yura is that he has like his character is supposed to be so like stoic, and so he has so much less to do, but he finds this way to kind of
really
make that feel so weighty.
It becomes surprising. I mean, he feels like a really real person.
Right.
Too.
Mark is like the character is so much more showy. Yeah. So it's like he has a lot more to play with.
Yeah.
But then obviously, like I said, I have both Harris Dickinson and Drew Starkey as like would love like they're both
Should
great.
have written them down. See, supporting actor this year, which like I never say this about a year. It's like I'm like supporting actor, like who gives a fuck? But
no,
this year I'm like this is actually kind of the most open. The most people that I feel passionate about in one category. Yeah. Because Jonathan Bailey, like I said, like too, I think that's the best. part
movie
of
star
Wicked.
making
Yeah.
perform. Like
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite performances of the year.
And I've
like
never like
the chemistry he had with every
Yeah.
single person.
when he like slides and you see his ass cheeks
Like,
through his face. Like
God.
he wow.
That's
was
a fucking
good.
star.
Dennis
he tore
Quaid
that.
too in Substance is really good, and after seeing Parent Trap all my life, it's like let's give our daughter her flowers. He's like Jamie Lee Curtis. He's like Freaky Friday. Like where's
Yes,
Dennis's
legend.
time in the sun?
Yeah, I also
and
have
him in Far From Heaven.
oh god,
Yeah.
yeah. I also have Jason Schwartzman, queer,
right,
which I already
right,
said.
Right.
And then some like I had Brandon Wilson and Nickel Boys.
Yeah.
Adam Pearson and A Different Man, who is the guy who actually has like the facial whatever the condition is.
Yeah.
The actor who actually has
He's in
that.
Under the Skin as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and he's so good in A Different Man, and it's kind of one
I
of
want to
those
see that.
true like turn. Do you have a DVD player? I have like a DVD.
I
can
don't
let
have
you
a
borrow.
DVD
Okay.
player. I just
Oh, you have the projector. You
the
told me
Apple
that.
TV.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a Cyberlink?
No, they only sent. They sent like physical copies of some, and then they sent the links for the ones that they didn't send physical copies.
My friend
for.
has a PlayStation, so I could watch it through that.
Yeah,
actually.
well, let me know. You can borrow it. And then Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice.
Actually,
also,
if A Different Man was A24, I have a link for it.
oh well, they didn't send me.
Really?
They sent me links for Brutalist, Baby Girl, and Queer, which are the only three that they didn't send me physical copies for.
Oh, interesting. They sent those ones later, like the Brutalist, Baby Girl, Queer. I got as later links, but I got links to whatever. This is such inside baseball for people listening, but like I got links to like some of their other last awardsy pushes earlier in the season.
Yeah, well, because like they sent me, I got 2 different sets of like physical DVDs for like
okay.
their slate.
Oh, okay.
And then
I never got that.
like at the end, then they sent me links for those last 3.
Anyway, let's move on. Unless you had more supporting actor.
No, that's pretty much it.
We're gonna soon have gotten through. We can kind of rapid fire through some of these categories, but adapted screenplay to me feels way thinner than original, and so there's movies in this that I don't even really feel like I don't know if I feel like the Wicked screenplay is its strength.
No, it's not.
So, but I do have
think
it in
it probably gets in just by default.
I have in Sing Sing would be my choice to win, I think, based on just like the process of how they wrote it.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2 I have in here. Wicked I have in here. Nickel Boys Conclave.
I didn't have Dune in. I had Conclave, Amelia Perez, unfortunately. I think Dune would be a better one, but Dune didn't get famously like didn't get nominated for the first one. They just don't. They like wait, did it?
It swept The Craft.
Yeah, it definitely swept Craft. No, I think it like didn't get in for screenplay, but I think Amelia gets in just because it's a Best Picture front runner.
Yeah,
I hate saying that. Just shuddered. But Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, and Wicked. I would give it to Sing Sing as well.
Yeah.
For adapted. So it also feel like kind of as you were saying, just like hearing the process behind that. Because I guess we both kind of talked to people that have kind of like worked in the script in like different capacities. It's like that's what you kind of like think. I did like a rewatch of Adaptation over Thanksgiving break, and it's like something like Sing Sing, which kind of is like it feels like because it's
adaptation.
Both. It's like it's not even adapting from like a book or something. It's adapting from like a real life. Well, it's technically adapting from that Esquire cover article.
Which is how this story first,
which is how it
became public.
But it's also adapting parts of the play that was like the center of that article,
actual dialogue from the play,
and it's like, but it just works, and it's so, and it still manages to pull on your heartstrings, and did
Adaptation win the Oscar? I hope it did.
For
adapted screenplay,
or it's an original. Is it? I thought
it's adapted.
Is it adapted?
I think it was categorized as adapted because originally he was hired to adapt this article about like the orchid thief,
exactly,
and then it became completely something else. I love Charlie
his mind.
He's
the
everything.
Girls can't do it.
Being
like
John
Charlie
Malkovich,
Kaufman,
like
a legend.
no one does it like our king.
Yeah, I literally watched it like over like maybe like the night after Thanksgiving, like in my aunt's house,
maybe
like,
I'll watch that later.
And I was
tonight.
like,
Nicolas Cage, Meryl
Streep,
and what's his face, Chris Cooper.
Yes,
That's my
girl,
uncle.
I was gagged.
I watched Aaron Brockovich rewatched on the airplane home from LA recently, and I was like, yeah, Chris Cooper and Julia. I mean, obviously Julia should be mentioned first.
Yes,
is
we do love
the queen.
Love.
Anyway, okay, so original screenplay. This is where it gets tight.
It does get tight.
Honora is my winner.
Honora is my winner. I think Honora's
definitely
probably
my
does
winner.
win.
I think
as
it
well.
will. I think it will. I hope it does.
I think, but in terms of like getting in, I think Brutalist definitely gets in.
Brutalist in.
Which
I did want to say I had Thanksgiving dinner with Brady Corbet and his mom Mary Corbet one year, which is a whole other story.
Wait,
no, not this year.
Was this Vox Lux era?
It was Vox. It was after Vox Lux.
Oh my god!
Yeah, my ex was friends with these lesbians who were friends with the Corbets.
Wait, that is so funny.
Yeah, but anyway, and Mary Corbet like helped get me the job at Hollywood Reporter. Loki.
Oh, love that.
It was Evan Brown who got me it, but then Mary Corbet is like the HR person there, and so I like emailed with her. Anyway,
love that.
Whatever. So Brutalist and Honora.
A real
I have
pain.
challengers in here.
I do. I have challengers as like a on the bubble.
Okay.
I feel like
you have a real pain.
I have a real pain.
I don't have
Honora,
it because I haven't seen it. I have The Substance, which
I have The Substance.
Okay,
as well.
you do.
Which again, I think the screenplay is not its strongest suit, but I do think. But screenplay is always most interesting because obviously, famously, the nominations come from the bodies themselves.
Right.
So it's
except
like the
for
writers, except for picture.
Yeah.
Everyone votes for picture.
But like writers
votes
vote for
picture,
writers.
and everyone votes for animated feature, I think, and international.
Well, that's interesting. You would think that the animation branch would vote for animation.
No, I think it's. Or wait, is it song? No, the songwriters definitely do. There's like,
but the bodies in general vote.
Yeah.
Like actors vote for acting.
Yes,
which
writers
is why things like SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards, and like PGA are so predictive because that's the bodies.
Exactly.
The same people. Yeah, for the most part.
And so I feel like continuously, screenplay always is kind of like you get like some of the most interesting things because like. I mean, it's also somewhat how we have seen kind of with director, where we're like regularly getting
goes
like
more international
now.
Esoteric, and screenplay has gone like. I mean,
like we got. I mean, which should have won last year. That's how like we got like May December last year, even though the girls slept on it. And
I know that's
every
so
other
crazy
category,
that
like,
it was but like you got Past Lives, which did get a Best Picture nom. I'm pretty sure,
and
but like
Lead Actress.
Oh, did Greta get nominated?
No. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Greta.
What was I thinking?
Greta Lee.
Gerwig.
No,
Greta
she
Lee.
didn't. She
No,
didn't.
Not.
But you also get things like what else is like a screenplay only nom? I mean, Emerald Fennell won for Promising Young Woman, which people will.
Granted, I am a Promising Young Woman apologist.
So am I.
I will wake that up.
Is the winning everyone votes? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just the It's like the
so that's
they
actually
do
not
nomination.
applicable.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is how you get. And granted, Promising Young Woman also was nominated for a lot.
Yeah.
It was nominated for
that's
lead
actually not a good example. But there's examples of screenplay alone nominees.
Yes. That kind of slide in.
I have Hard Truths as a bubble for this. Having not seen it.
Yeah. I also have it on the bubble. But yeah, I would love to see challengers squeeze in.
I think challengers would be good. I think it's well written.
It is. I mean, I as I have said, I think everything is done to a T. It's just I want challengers to win Best Score and Best Original Song. I want Compress Repress to get the original song nomination. Now,
is it on the shortlist?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cinematography.
Brutalist.
Yeah, I have that.
Is definitely
that's number one. I mean, it's the most beautiful movie of the year
gorgeous.
that I've seen. Yeah,
it's gorgeous. I think Nosferatu gets in for cinematography
at number 2.
Cinematography is also one of those categories where you get like low nominees because of cinematographers.
In these back half categories, you sometimes see stuff that are otherwise not recognized. Like, I feel like So the Harry Potter films, I think, were unjustly ignored by the Oscars, especially considering Lord of the Rings is like the biggest winner of all time.
And let's not forget when Alfonso Cuarón directed.
Right.
Yes, like
exactly.
a legend.
Azkaban. Like the Harry Potter movies are artful and they're on the level of Lord of the Rings to me, which I love Lord of the Rings, and I'm not suggesting they deserved any less, but Harry Potter deserved to be up there with them, but they did get noms in like visual effects, costumes, things like that. And so like movies that don't get nominated in some of the top categories can often find traction in these craft things.
So cinematography, I also have Nickel Boys.
Yeah, so do I, even though I haven't, just because I know of its like thing.
That's the big thing of it.
I have Dune Part 2 and Honora as my other two.
Ooh, okay. I think I also had Conclave in there.
Okay, sure.
Because as we were saying, in terms of it is a gorgeous film, but yeah, I guess like Dune is 4 or 5. Let me see. Honestly, I think Challengers should also be there.
Babel, I have Joker Folia do.
For cinematography? Girl, be serious.
I thought it was like grimy. I don't know. I wanted to give it something.
Yeah, I guess.
But it is mostly taking place in a gray prison cell.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I guess like the cinematography is not the worst part of it, but I just don't think that the Academy's
I actually should have that bubble on costumes too. So costumes, I have Wicked, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, Queer, Maria, Bubble, Honora, and I'm gonna add Bubble, Joker, Folia do.
Queer should. I need Oscar winner Jonathan Anderson.
Actually, Queer should win for me.
Win.
Yeah,
like those costumes are.
The costumes are so good. This is where I can really get on Queer, and same with production design.
Yes, it's all.
It's
gorgeous.
the most beautifully, like, tastefully. Well, I can't really say that because
I mean, Siam Wu, like the cinematographer, who also did Challengers, who also did Trap.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Did Queer,
Challengers, Trap, and he did a fourth one, which I have not. Whatever the fourth one is, I haven't seen. Wow. But he had 4 movies this year, and they were all gorgeous. Like Trap. Have you seen Trap?
No.
It's gorgeous.
That's like the weird horror movie?
That's the Shyamalan.
Yeah.
With Josh Hartnett playing like the murderer.
Is it worth seeing?
Oh, it's like it's definitely giving like camp. Like it's not like, but if it had slid in for cinematography, I would not be complaining because it's gorgeous and like it's so.
Imagine he gets 4 nominations.
He should. If I was the one making them, he would. Like he tore. But I think like Queer is so like gorgeously shot.
I mean, the costumes and the set design and everything is unbelievable. And like you said, Jonathan Anderson did the costumes, and that's just fucking cool. And
he also did them for Challengers, though. Challengers is less distinct.
Challengers is not,
because I mean they're in tennis wear.
Different style.
Yeah. Queer is like a deeply researched period
and
look.
It's about the beauty too.
Exactly.
Like Queer like rests on its beauty
so much depends on kind of like their clothes and like the way this clothes are very much way more telling a story than they necessarily are in Challengers, or it's just like there's just more story.
Well, I also heard with Queer, like, so it's based on the William S. Burroughs novel. I guess like that it's in Mexico City in like the 80s or something, and I guess that version of Mexico City, like, that wouldn't have been a thing in the 80s. Like, it's kind of an imagined world that is still deeply researched, but like the story is fiction. And like the world that they built is kind of a blend of like deeply researched reality and like a fantasy.
Yes, no, completely.
And so I just think makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, no, completely. But yeah, cinematography, I feel like I would probably have to give it to Nickel Boys.
Really?
I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd probably give it to Challengers. But I don't think Challengers is getting in.
Your druthers are not here with us right now. I would give it to Brutalist or Dune Part 2, I think. Or Nosferatu.
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
Nosferatu looked amazing.
That's a really
tight
like tight category.
That's a tight
like
one.
they're all tour. Like Brutalist, gorgeous. Dune, gorgeous. Nosferatu, gorgeous.
I interviewed the Nosferatu, Jaron Blaschke, or I think that's how you pronounce it. He
yes.
worked on all of Robert Eggers' movies. He was really cool, and like the techniques that he talked about using, because that movie takes place so much at night in the dark, and the way they had to figure out how to light that just made me like appreciate.
Which is a conversation many directors don't have these days.
No,
they're like,
I mean, John M. Chu, Wicked.
Girl,
it's like I couldn't see
in the light.
I couldn't see.
You could not see
in
it
the
in the
light.
daytime.
No, I could not fucking see. Like,
so, like, imagine like lighting a light scene.
I will defend Wicked on a lot of things that people will shit on it for, but like I could not see. It looked dark.
It's
and
it's
it
a
looked
mess.
bad.
And it's in a lot of the movie is in the light.
Bad.
And it's like why is this backlit, girl? Like,
I
what
know.
are you doing?
The
This
lighting
is crazy.
was wrong.
It's so bad. But
yeah. So the rest of these are less interesting categories. Let's just like rip through them. Editing, I have Dune Part 2, Brutalist, Substance, Sonora, Challengers.
anyway, you have challengers? I really don't. I'm not. I
don't
haven't
know.
really been thinking that challengers
I put
is going to be a
Challengers
competitor.
in the back half.
I would.
These are
again,
also sort of druthers based.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would slot challengers in everywhere it can fit, honestly, because I love it. But I really don't. I could see it getting in for. I definitely see it getting in for score.
Yeah,
maybe original song, and
I have it in score and song as well.
I could maybe, and maybe original screenplay, but I kind of am like I don't.
I'm not
necessarily.
These are actually more
but yeah, like you said, just druthers.
than predictive.
Yes, I definitely. I mean, I think it's one of the most. I feel the same way about like the editing. I honestly feel like I honestly would give challengers the win in editing because, as I was saying
I think
earlier,
editing is really good.
It's so integral to how that story is told, and because you're operating on so many different timelines and timelines that are not even far. Like these are timelines that are sometimes like within months of each other. But it's like you can still follow it completely.
Plus, there's like split screen components going on. Yeah,
and just like even just like it's they tore that.
Do you want to shout out? I feel like with the rest of these, rather than give our 5 for each, it's more like shout out things that you want to shout out for editing, for makeup, for production design.
Makeup, that's where I would give it to my girl Substance. That's for y'all. They ate the. What is it? Elisa Monstru.
Oh yeah, Elisa whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
At the end,
like
there's this like prosthetic monster that I would Substance, and I think Substance will win.
Yes, Nosferatu obviously also
Nosferatu's
incredible.
Great.
Like
yeah.
Makeup. As I already said, but they didn't win. They didn't get to the short list, but I would have put Queer in just.
For makeup.
Yeah, because
of Leslie Manville.
Like Leslie Manville.
I want Queer in for production design, although I am going to give that win to Dune Part 2. Because I think it's rests so much on like the world. These like this world they create and these like spaceships and machines and things that they like came up with completely for the movie. I also would put Brutalist in production design. Yes. No question. Same with Nosferatu. That's actually kind of a pretty intensely competitive category. Because it's like, there's a lot of cool sets in movies this year.
But it might end up, I feel like I could see it really easily going to Brutalist. Because Brutalist is also a movie about, I mean, not about production, but it's like about spaces and interiors and like, kind of. So I could see that.
Yeah. Score, we both said Challengers. Yes. I would add Brutalist, Wicked, Nosferatu, and I have The Wild Robot, which I haven't seen, but
Wild Robot.
First score,
Oh, I love Wild Robot. I would have honestly put in my
best picture. Is it that good? This is an animated movie about a robot. Lupita Nyong'o plays the robot.
It's like about a robot who is put like on like. It's like I don't know, it's a plane crash. She basically like falls off like during a shipment into this jungle forest. And she's a robot that like who has been, it's like an AI robot who's basically been programmed to just help people. And she gets there, she's around all these animals and she's like, how can I help you? And like the animals see this big machine and are scared, but she kind of gradually integrates herself in with these animals and the animals learn to value her and she ends up raising this like little baby chick and forms this bond, but it ruined me. Good. I was sobbing. It's so good. And there have like been some good animated films. I recently watched Memoir of a Snail.
Is that one good?
It's good. It's with the voice of Sarah Snook from Succession.
Oh, sure. Soon to be Dorian Gray on Broadway.
Soon to be Dorian Gray,
and all the
yeah.
other characters.
Good movie. But just nothing has struck me the way The Wild Robot has struck me. Granted, I still have I have seen Inside Out too. I haven't. The only one that I haven't seen is I've seen Flow as well.
Okay.
Flow is gorgeous. Wallace and Gromit is the only one I haven't seen.
Yeah. Someone recently was like, let's watch Wallace and Gromit and smoke weed. Oh, Merce. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so song. I don't really have anything interesting to say because I don't really know.
Because there's no Shallow this year.
There's no Shallow.
There's no Shallow.
God, sometimes song is a great category.
Really? Yeah.
But not this year. I don't care about any of the
Well,
songs.
that's why I care about it being compressed, repressed.
Yeah,
by
Challengers, yeah.
not 9 Inch, but by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Sound is just like boring, but The Substance did have really good sound design, like Foley effect. So I would be curious to hear that. I feel like a complete unknown based on just like how they recorded live.
Right, yeah. Wicked. Also recorded live.
Yeah. Because I remember the spray. You saw it.
Spray ball?
She like when Ariana's like spraying herself with perfume, like you could really hear the spray, and she was like, yeah. So
I was like, what are you talking about? Okay,
and then I put Joker Folio Do in here just to give it some love where I felt like it could.
You're killing me with Joker.
I wanted Gaga to have her druthers.
No, she'll get it with the next film, child.
Okay, so what's left is visual effects, animated, documentary. I don't really have important stuff to say. I would say I hope Will and Harper, which I haven't even seen, but is about Will Ferrell and his trans friend Harper,
Harper Steele worked with Will on SNL, a famous comedian herself. It's about a road trip that they take and they talk about gender, and it's great. It's funny.
It's good.
But I like
Would
it.
it be your pick to win,
No.
Doc? Okay.
My pick to win, Doc, is also happens to be one of my favorite movies of the year, No Other Land.
No Other Land, okay. What's that about?
Which is a film. It's a documentary about the occupation in Palestine by Israel, done in like the 2 to 3 years before October 7th. It actually stops on October 7th, basically.
Really?
Yeah, kind of.
Just
like
coincidentally.
No, I mean, no, I think it's just
right.
the worst part.
Of course.
Oh my god!
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So, yes,
well,
not
that
coincidentally,
right.
very hard stop point just for other external circumstances.
Of course.
But the impact of it being all before October 7th is because it's like it sets you up with kind of understanding about
what's going on,
how much had been happening before.
Wow.
Obviously, Palestine. October 7th was when Palestine was doing something back.
Yeah.
But, obviously the narrative has been that that's where it started.
Yeah.
But you kind of see this documentation of the years of families being displaced from their homes, people like waiting for them to like walk away and then fully bulldozing them. And then after they ruin these people's homes, being like, actually, you can't come back because this is now a military ground. But it's the interesting story is that it is about this friendship between this Palestinian man who is like, and comes from a family of activists that have kind of been going about it, and this Israeli journalist who lives, over the border in Israel, but who kind of gets wind of this and starts to try to work with him. But it's also about these two people from these different sides trying to find common ground because the Palestinian and obviously his extended family are very wary of letting this Israeli man who's coming in to, they don't really trust him. And it's kind of about this somewhat uneven friendship that's forming between them. They're the two directors. There's also another Israeli director and another Palestinian director, but the two that are the main ones they're like the two main characters in this documentary. And it is just devastating and it's so important. And it's just like, it ruined me, and it just like feels kind of like literally, like I hate to say it being like it feels so important, but like it really does like feel like kind of like as
crucial.
Like, it's incredible, and it's like, unfortunately, it has yet to get distribution because I just feel like people are just afraid. Studios are afraid to touch it.
Yeah. So is it still? It's shortlisted.
It's still shortlisted.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's still. It already had its run. I get it. But it wasn't with distribution. I don't really know how it worked, but that would be my pick.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds way more.
I also love Daughters.
At the moment.
Daughters is a Netflix documentary, which Will and Harper's also on Netflix. But Daughters is about these men who are incarcerated bringing their daughters come for like a father-daughter dance, like in the prison. It's really heartwarming, and it follows these families for years, and so it's very deeply reported. It's great. The only one that I haven't seen that a lot of people seem gung-ho about is Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, which I have heard a lot. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't had a chance to see it, but I have heard amazing things about that. But for me right now, it's No Other Land. Like,
I really need to check that out. Okay, to wrap things out, really, I think international, we mentioned Seed of the Sacred Fig. Obviously, Emilia Perez is going to be a big contender. Yes. I brought up The Beast. I don't know that will be a player, but
yeah, I guess I haven't seen it. Is it is that England? Is it England?
I don't think it's American. I guess I thought it was European. Maybe.
No. I mean, I'm saying it. Yeah. I'm literally asking.
England or French. I think there is some French going on.
But that's Emilia Perez is France, though.
Oh, true. So maybe it's England.
Yeah. So I
don't. Or maybe it's not in the running at all.
Yeah, I was like, is it? I don't
even know if it's in the running. And then I'm Still Here. I heard is really good.
I'm Still Here is the one that I have another movie that I need to still.
I've heard it's great. I've heard Fernanda Torres is like a bubble actress.
Heard much about her.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, Seed of the Sacred. Also, Flow, which is Latvia. And obviously player animated feature. It's also a silent film, so it's like funny to think. Granted, it is international feature at the Oscars. Yeah, it's a silent animated film. It's gorgeous. But I was like, it didn't. It's actually, I saw Flow and Wild Robot back to back, and they're both like animated films about found family amongst animals. So it's kind of like a funny double feature, but I didn't connect with Flow as much as I did with Wild Robot, though the animation is gorgeous. But it's Latvia's entrant for international feature, so we'll see. The last time I feel like that an animated feature got nominated was for Flea, which I was obsessed with.
Yeah. And that was a cool one because it was animated, foreign language, and documentary. Yeah. Which, wow, what a trifecta.
Tour.
Yeah.
I love, that was my number one film of that year. But yeah, so I'm still Seed of Sacred Fig. I think. Yeah. Oh, All We Imagine Is Light I feel like it's definitely getting nominated too.
That's the other one. Yeah.
I think the 5 is Amelia, All We Imagine Is Light, Seed of the Sacred Fig.
I'm Still Here.
I'm Still Here. And then
maybe a documentary could fit in. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, they have Dahomey has a lot of the Maddie Diop documentary is also the international entrant for Senegal. But we shall see. I like Dahomey. Also love a movie that's like the movie I think is like 67 minutes. So
that's heaven. It's so nice. What did I see the other day that was Room Next Door? Although I'm going to be honest, that one felt like
short?
It was like 90 minutes, but it felt like it was longer. Sorry.
I didn't dislike The Room Next Door. I just like it's just not my favorite. I was glad I saw
it. No, it was definitely my least favorite Pedro that I've seen. I've never not liked another one of his movies, and not that I disliked this one. It just like I don't know. It didn't quite work for me.
Yeah, and I see that. Like I said, this is like probably the first time that a Pedro film would not end up in my top 25.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but I really did not dislike it. But it's just
so to close out. Can we hear? I know you're not finalized,
Yes,
but like, what is
can-
your top 25?
Yeah. I
'Cause I think
can give some.
There's like live action short. I was just gonna plug my own shorts from last year, but they're from last year. So
Air conditioner. What?
AC unit,
AC unit.
yeah, which you were at the East Coast premiere of.
Yes, I loved AC unit.
Thank you. I was gonna plug Cole Domans and Tony. Oh God, I'm thinking on his last name. Tony something's. Starfuckers is amazing.
Yes.
But yeah,
what is his last name? I can't
starts
remember.
with an M.
Yes.
Anyway, okay. So what are your top 25?
So See the Sacred Fig at number 1,
Mm-hmm.
Honora at number 2.
Mhm.
I Saw the TV Glow at number 3.
Mhm.
Challengers at number 4. Nickel Boys number 5. I feel like that's kind of where I know like my
Your top
pretty like
tops.
top
Okay.
top 5.
That those all sound good to me.
It gets a little kind of like shaky in terms of like actual ordering here, but
Okay.
some like we have Sing Sing,
Yeah.
The Wild Robot,
Yeah.
Queer,
Mm-hmm.
The Brutalist,
Mhm.
A Real Pain,
Okay.
Hard Truths,
Yes.
Wicked.
Thank you.
Like some recognition.
I appreciate that a lot.
Baby Girl she's there.
She's there.
Kill, which I will like real
I don't know
it
Kill.
is a movie that many people don't know. It came out, I saw it at Tribeca Film Festival, but then it
Okay.
came out right after that. But it's a is it India? I'm like it's a double check.
Kill.
But it's literally called Kill. It's
Kill.
like just like this guy. It's basically set kind of like on a train, and it's like this man is in love with this woman who's about to get married to someone else. Then she gets like kidnapped on this train because this train has been hijacked by these gangsters, and then this guy, to get back the love of his life, is just basically killing all these people in this gang. But it's like just an hour and a half, 2 hours of just like pure adrenaline. It's just like bloody and gory and just
Heaven.
exciting. I was sitting on the edge of my seat the whole time. It's so well made. It's like
Oh,
there's not that
can't
big,
believe I haven't heard of this.
right. I was like a little like when I first met, I was like, this movie is so fucking good, and it just didn't really get that much press. Like it did get an official release. Like I said, it came out like pretty much like within the week or so after I saw it at Tribeca, but it has stuck in my head because I love like I'm a John Wick stan. Like I love just hyper violence.
Never seen John Wick, but I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
different kind of violence, but yeah,
Sure.
it's okay. But like some people can't do with violence.
I
at
love
all,
Casino
so,
Royale.
Yeah, so you can
yeah.
this is just kind of like just like I said, like 2 hours of just like hand to hand, like and I'm just. And it has been just in my head because it's just so entertaining, and like it doesn't always work. I saw another like hyperviolent movie with I can't even remember the name of it, but it just didn't work as well.
Yeah,
but Kill,
there's a way to do it that works and a way to
Right.
do it that doesn't. Yeah.
Conclave,
Mhm.
definitely
Yeah.
in the mix. Nosferatu.
Yeah. You liked Nosferatu a lot. I remember you
yes,
said it was your favorite of his.
No,
Oh, no, The Witch is your favorite.
I think I would say
The Lighthouse.
Huh?
The Lighthouse.
No.
The Northman.
The Northman.
Okay.
I'm a Northman stan.
Okay.
I was really gagged when the Northman didn't blow up.
I just rewatched it in this bed like a few days ago, and yeah, it was way better than I remembered it.
Oh, I actually saw the Northman in the same place where we saw Nosferatu.
Oh, really?
Like not in the same
Same
seat,
I
but
forget.
it was in that same theater.
You were in the same chair.
I just remember that screening room is like, it's a Dolby screening room.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that I know specifically because it gets the darkest. Like when they turn the lights down, it's like pitch black in that room.
And also, my phone loses service in there.
Yes.
So I always know I'm like really going to another place.
and so yeah, I saw the Northman there, and I love the Northman. But I was just expecting it. It's kind of crazy to think that the Lighthouse was kind of like it made a bigger impact.
Well, The Lighthouse got a cinematography Oscar nom.
Yeah, that was like it just in general had a bigger cultural impact, and I would expect it because the Northman is far like the more accessible film.
Yeah.
It's like the Lighthouse is really
insane.
weird. It's a
so
strange,
weird.
like I love it.
Yeah.
but I love strange films. But
Yeah, me too.
I was kind of surprised realize that.
I know.
It
I'm surprised people aren't more weirded out by it.
Right, but
anyway, so what's next in your list?
Let's
see
here. A Different Man, The Apprentice, Exhibiting Forgiveness, which is Andre Holland, who is incredible. I love Andre Holland.
Love him.
And Femme. Like I said, I
really want to see Femme. And you said George McKay was in your actor conversation.
We didn't end up talking about it. But George McKay and Nathan Stewart Jarrett. They're kind of their co-leads. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a film basically about it starts off kind of with a hate crime where Nathan Stewart Jarrett plays this drag queen who gets hate crimed by George McKay and these other kind of like, London thugs, basically, like consider themselves hard, and they like hate crime Nathan's character while she's in drag. And then it flips to some months down the line. Nathan's character has been very depressed and is at like a sauna, like, gay sauna, and sees George McKay there. And who, granted, we kind of like already know that George McKay's character is closeted. Yeah. But sees George McKay's character, obviously now not in drag, and kind of seduces him. And then.
And does he recognize him?
No.
Okay.
But then they kind of launch into this like very passionate affair that's very like like Nathan Stewart is like giving full sub and George McKay's giving full dom, and there's like a lot of like rough sex, like like outdoors up against like a oak tree, like but then it gets like very twisty and complicated because obviously it's like Nathan's character is like, this is like a trauma response in some way, but George's character is also kind of, who is still closeted and is very performative for his friends, is very clearly starting to like soften up because he's really into whatever is going on with Nathan's character. And then kind of in the end it flips when you kind of realize what Nathan's character has been trying to do through this like thing. And it's like, it's just so tense. It's gorgeous. Also incredible cinematography. Like the lighting is gorgeous.
And
like,
George is who you'd single out if you had to choose one.
They were. I had them both as co-leads. I think we were just talking about The Beast. I think that's what happened. So I mentioned George.
Yeah.
But they're both incredible. Honestly, I would say Nathan does more. And if I had to choose one, Nathan is like, because he has to play full confidence in drag, like as this Aphrodite drag queen character, and then like ends up being like this really, after the hate crime, is like fully depressed and kind of like compressed inside himself, and he has to do like a lot of playing. But George McKay is incredible because he is like playing this like repressed thug, but you have to kind of like think that his thug performance is a performance, so he has to like live in this performance that itself is a performance, and you can kind of see
there's like a meta thing,
right? And so it's just like, it was nothing like I was expecting. I was like,
I need to see that. That looked really good.
Streaming on Hulu.
It is.
Yes,
maybe I'll
that's
watch
where I
that
watched
tonight.
it last weekend. And so that kind of slid in like right at the end.
Is that the last in the list?
I think it's gonna actually be way higher.
It'll be longer.
Like, but I was just
because
the list that I had originally, I think was like 15. So the rest was just kind of like the other ones that I was just thinking off the top of my head. But I'm gonna do a top 25.
Okay, cool.
So however many that's been. That's like, those are the things that I've been watching. But I still have a few more things that I'm like squeezing in at the last minute. Like I said, The Beast.
Yeah.
I'm really
I have a lot of blinds, but I'm so glad that you were here for this topic because you've seen so much.
I have seen a lot of movies.
It's impressive, and people who need movie recs from the past year have their work cut out for them. So normally we close out with the 8 revisited to see if we've switched, which you're welcome to call yourself a Charlotte now if you want, or whatever, or Miranda, but I actually kind of like to switch it to like the topic at hand. So like, who are you out of, I guess, the characters of the films of this year?
Oh, that's a really good one.
I want to be Margaret Qualley in this episode.
Oh my
but
God.
I actually do kind of think I'm Lily Rose and Nosferatu a bit. But since I already talked about that in another app, like maybe I'm who are you? Let's see. Let's think about who you are.
I'm thinking.
What else is there? I mean, Selena Gomez. Oh, I have to be fucking. People keep trying to tell me I'm fucking Nessa Rose. So I want to say to all the fucks out there, that's not me, bitch.
I will say this: the funniest. So I went to go see. After I saw Maria, I saw The Fire Inside, which is another. It's a different biopic about this boxer who like won gold Olympic.
Sure. Yes,
but her name is Clarissa, and like she like goes by Ressa. Like that's Ressa. There's like this one line in the movie.
Hey, Nessa.
Right. No, it's literally it's like there's this one line in this movie where Brian Tyree Henry, who plays her coach, is like, Ressa, hey Ressa. Stop! And I was sitting in the theater, I almost screamed because it literally sounded like...
Hey Ressa, I've got something to confess.
And he was just talking, but it literally had like the same little... And I was like, this is gonna make me squeal.
Please.
Like, my head is so wicked peeled. Like, it's like, that's all I think about. Character.
But actually, I think I'm gonna be Charlotte Rampling in Dune Part 2. That's who I'll be.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm the mom.
You're Leia Seydoux.
I was gonna say I'm Timothy Chalamet.
You're Anya Taylor-Joy as the fetus.
Yes. Wait, actually, I am Anya Taylor-Joy.
That's you.
No. Oh my god.
That's you.
I'm dead.
You're Anya.
But yeah, I don't like who.
What else is there? I mean, low-key, I kind of can see you as Honora.
As Honora?
Or like one of the girls.
I'm actually Isabella Rossellini in Conclave. I'm gonna just like give you like 3 lines and then gag you and then walk out.
You're Lizzie Roz. You're Lizzie. Or you could be
Jamie Lee Curtis in The Last Showgirl.
I low-key think I could do a good Glinda.
I could see you being Glinda. But I could also see you being Elphaba.
Yeah, thank you. I was hoping you'd say that. I was fishing
I was waiting for that. I didn't know that was happening.
In Sean Baker's Wicked.
I'm actually just Sean Baker.
Wait, fuck.
Not Honora, like I'm just like Sean Baker.
We're supposed to be wrapping up. We've been talking for like 5 hours.
Oh my God, yes.
But the Golden Globes are going to come out 2 days before. So I just want to give a chance, last thing I promise listeners, to at least to divide the comedy drama. I feel like that's the difference between Oscars and Golden Globes. Like, who would you give?
Mikey's taking comedy.
Yeah, Mikey comedy.
And then
agreed. Although the comedy category is by far more stacked than the drama one.
Well, and it's Mikey,
I think Cynthia could win in comedy. And then female actor in a drama, like the only one from this list.
I think it's like Marianne or Nicole, right?
Marianne's not nominated.
Marianne didn't get nominated.
I think it's Angelina or Nicole, and I think Nicole would win of those two. Yeah. So I guess Nicole wins. Because it's Tilda, Pamela, Kate Winslet, Fernanda Torres, Angelina, Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah, that was, oh my god.
So weird.
Fucking Kate Winslet and Lee.
Which, like, I don't
The Golden Globes is crazy.
They're fucked up. They're like, everyone claims they're an evolved group, but they're not.
Like, how did Pamela Anderson get nominated over Marianne?
Right.
That's crazy.
Okay, but then actor is for drama Adrian Brody, Coleman Domingo, Daniel Craig, Ray Fiennes, Sebastian Stan, Timothée Chalamet. It's interesting because, like, I think with the boys it's drama and with the girls it's comedy.
Yeah. Well, granted, half of the thing is that some of them were divided. Not even like Challengers isn't a comedy really, but it was
Complete Unknown is a musical. And it's not even that dramatic.
Well, but I guess
it's not like Walk the Line.
What I was gonna say, but if it's like, it's a music. If they did A Star Is Born as a drama, which I feel like it's the same thing.
Same
where
thing.
It's
but
like it's not a musical.
Preferred Star Is Born as a musical. It's not a musical in the sense that the music is what's it called? Diegetic. Yeah. So I guess if you're gonna define it that way.
Well, granted, I don't even think that that's technically the definition of diegetic. Diegetic has more to do with like a soundtrack music. Granted, because like a musical, the song is in the story technically, but it's more just that like the performers are not breaking out into song; they're performing. It's
happening in real life.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. So just for Golden Globes, who do you think? And this, I want full predictive, not brothers. Who do you think will win? Picture comedy, picture drama, actor drama comedy, actress drama comedy.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm gonna say Brutalist for drama.
Yeah, Brutalist for drama. I'm
gonna say
Wicked. I think they might actually
Wicked
give it to
for
Wicked.
Comedy because it's the Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes would love that.
Then actress, I guess I'm gonna say Nicole for drama.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Nicole for drama, and then
actor, I guess I'm gonna say from the Globes, probably Timothée. Or Adrian. They like to be cool too. I think it's between them.
Shout out to them for nominating Sebastian Stan.
Yeah. He got nominated in both.
Real Kings. Yeah, for a different man and supporting. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And he deserved it, honestly, twice.
Ray Fiennes is hot. And Daniel Craig's my number one. Okay. It's a hot group of guys.
Yeah, I could see them going for Timothy, but I'm going to go ahead and say Adrian. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in for Adrian.
And then actress in a comedy.
Amy Child, not Amy Adams.
What is she doing now?
I'm going to go ahead and say Mikey Madison.
I'm going to say Mikey Madison too, but I could say Cynthia.
Could be Cynthia.
Yeah. And then last is actor in a comedy. Which is a very weird category because none of these people will be nominated for an Oscar, I think.
Oh, yeah, this is...
you were about to say it's supporting, and it's not.
Because they did.
None of these guys are even in the running for.
Jesse Eisenberg, I think, is like kind of.
I guess Jesse Eisenberg
on the.
So I guess I would give it to him. Maybe.
But
or Sebastian Stan.
I could see them being crazy and giving it to like fucking Glenn Powell. Honestly.
Really? Yeah. Or Hugh Grant. I guess this one's kind of wide.
I don't think it's gonna go to Hugh.
No.
But yeah, that's kind of the hardest one to predict. Because it's like, I feel like if they were going to give it to the person that was like the most likely to end up in Oscars, it would be Jesse.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess there's two Jessies there.
Oh, it's in 6 days, 23 hours, 33 minutes, 26 seconds. Okay, cool.
But, yeah.
So that's Golden Globes. I think we're basically... at the point where we've hit a really long...
basically done.
I think
4 hours later.
4 hours.
Well,
thank you for coming on, Michael. Like, this was the best. Like, come back all the time.
Oh my god.
We'll do Almodovar. We'll do... I mean, you're now the resident awards expert for every year. So assuming Babbling On lasts for years and years.
Yes, and it will.
And it should. And it should. And it will.
The girls need it.
You know, soon we're going to get picked up by some fancy network that wants to pay. So
Spotify's going to come with the check.
That's what I was coming. Okay, love you. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to hit stop.
Babble.
Bye. Babble, 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 babble.
I'm gonna talk about all the things that I wanna talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Oh, we're babbling on. We're babbling
Babbling On is created, produced, and edited by Hilton Dresden. The theme song is by Benny Cortoletta, featuring Callie Baker, and is produced by Benny Cortoletta and Jack Krause. The artwork is by Hilton Dresden. Audio consultation from Kenzie Woodrow and Dallas Seeker. Special thanks to Alec Cohen, Natalie Rotter-Waitman, Molly Montgomery, Nick Krause, and to everyone who has subscribed to Babbling On the Substack and refused to shut the fuck up.